Okay, so our project steps are Kelly is a senior in college and has a part-time job where she tutors students in math, physics, and chemistry. She's interested in analyzing her earnings for the job during the first 3 quarters of the year. Open the job analysis worksheet and then use AutoFit to adjust the width of column A. AutoFit. So I'll make mine a little bit bigger. So notice here that we have math, physics, and chemistry. So she's multi-subject tutor here. And notice how chemistry is scrolling across into column B. Do you know how to quickly fix? How do you quickly fix the width of the column so that A lines up to the edge of the Y in chemistry? Double click on the corner of the A. So if you take your mouse and then move it up to all the columns here, notice how if I highlight A, it all of a sudden it'll become green, and then there's a little down arrow. And if I just move it over to the right in between where the 2 columns are between A and B, all of a sudden it switches to a little line with 2 arrows going either way. And if I double click right there, it'll automatically fit the column to the longest width. All right. AutoFit. Now it says select cell A1, enter the text A1, enter the text Kelly's part-time tutoring job. So I'm actually just going to highlight this and copy it. So let me highlight it. All right, so I'm going to go to cell A1 and we're going to type Kelly's, oops, the heck. Well, this is weird. Is it working? All right, I guess they're going to make me type it in here. Okay, so they want us to, after you have that typed into cell A1, mine, by the way, I already have merged cells. They don't, for some reason, I think it should be, they should be unmerged, but in any case, if you go over to in the Home tab, in the ribbon where it says Alignment, kind of this little grouping over here, you see where it says Merge and Center? If I click on the down arrow, there's lots of things that I can do besides Merge and Center. I can merge and center, I can merge across, I can merge cells or unmerge cells. I think the instructions are asking us to center the merged range A1 to D1. Oh, they just want us to center it. So to center it, sorry, I'm showing you the wrong thing. See how it's right aligned here under alignment? To center it, it's just over to the left. So I'm going to click on center. And now it's centered. They want us to add a, what does it want us to do? Apply the heading 1 cell style to the merge range A1 to D1. So where would I find, how do I apply a cell style? Over here under styles, right? Hey, did you know that you can give your Excel spreadsheet some style? So I'm going to click on, there's 2 sets of arrows. There's up, down, and then there's sort of the drop down indicators. I'm going to click on the drop down indicator. And you can see here we have all these different styles up here. And over here where it says titles and headings, it kind of in the middle, they're asking it to be, is it heading 1? All right, so I'm going to click on heading 1 right there. All right, so now we've given it some style. All right. In cell A2, they want us to enter the text revenue and then merge the contents of the range A2 to D2. So I'm going to go to cell A2 and type revenue. All right, so now they want us to merge A2 to D2, right? How do we merge those? Yeah, first highlight cells A2 to D2 with the left mouse button holding it down and dragging it across to D2. And then over here where it says merge and center, we can do merge cells. Okay? Merge cells. Now, okay, so your spreadsheet should look a little like this, or a lot like this. All right, so now we've entered the revenue, we merged the cells, clear the contents of cell E3. So there's lots of ways to clear the contents. So yeah, we have over here in E3, you have that stray Q4. There's lots of different ways, but we're going to use the ribbon. And over here in the far right on the Home tab, let's see where it says Editing. I'm going to click on the down arrow for Clear, and it's asking us to clear the contents. So I'm going to choose Clear Contents, which is the same thing as hitting the delete key, right? So that's usually what I do, is I know where my delete key is and use the delete key, but that's just another way to clear the contents. All right, so now in table 1, below, they want us to enter data. So there's not a lot of data entry with this process. We do have to do a little bit. So they want us to enter the numbers 1800, 1950, and 2020. So I'm going to go up here and type, is it here? Yeah, 1800, 1950, and 2020. All right, so that's your data entry task. Using the fill handle, copy the formula into cell B7 into the range C7 to D7. So the fill handle, what the heck is a fill handle? It sounds to me like a reporter, you know, like a traffic reporter that flies in the air. You know, here's this fill handle coming to you from the air, you know. So where's Phil Handle live? He's right here in the corner, right? So if you could see it, then we can make this a little bit bigger. Notice how when you highlight cell B7 and I click on this little kind of black box, I need to put on my spectacles here. If I click on there, the little plus sign comes up. If I hold down my left mouse button and drag it across, all right, it copied the information into the other cells. Now notice how it automatically calculated the totals. How did it do that? It used a formula, right? So up here, this is called the formula bar, right? Sounds like a place that nerds like to hook up. You know, it's like I met her at the formula bar. We exchanged digits. So that's what you're going to. What it's doing is it's copying. Notice when I click on this, I can see that the formula is the sum of C4 to C6, C4 colon C6, right? So that's a way of adding all the values between C4 and C6. Over here, if I click on cell D7, it changes from the sum of C4 to C6 to D4 to D6, right? So it keeps the relative formula in place, right? So we don't want the exact formula, the absolute formula copied over there. We want the relative. So Excel's smart enough to know that it doesn't. You don't want to copy these cells. You don't want to add up these cells. You want to add up these cells. So that's what the fill handle does. And we're going to learn about absolute and relative cell referencing in a little later. But it's really important, and they ask that a lot on the certification exam. And it's just one of those concepts that I find that students have a hard time understanding for some reason. So just pay attention that Excel does things behind the scenes that you need to be aware of. Okay, so that's that. We've used fill handle. And merge and center the range A9 to D9. So for that, we're going to go down here. So I guess they want it to look like just up here. So I'm going to highlight A9 over to D9 with my left mouse button. And I'm going to go over to, I'm going to use the tool up here where it says merge and center. I'm just going to click on merge and center. It does it all in one step. Now, do a couple more things before we finish up here. Select the range B11 to D14 and then apply the accounting number format with the 2 decimal places and the $ as a symbol. So I'm going to go back over here. So which ones are they? So B11 all the way to D14, is that right? So it wants us to make this accounting format. So right now we just have numbers, right? We don't have any $ or decimal places at all. So what do we want to do here? How do we make this into accounting format? Go over here to number. Wait, Mishak says format cells. How do I do that? Okay. So what I'm going to do the first suggestion that Mishak suggested. He said highlights, once you've highlighted, if you click with your right mouse button, when you click with your right mouse button, it's a shortcut, and it'll actually take you to the format cells. There's a whole bunch of different things that you can do. There's a lot of, so Excel is contextual, and so it knows where you are, and when you click right, it'll give you a whole set of options, what are things that you might want to do. So when in doubt, click right is what I always say. All right, so I'm going to click on Format Cells with the left mouse button. And over in the Number tab, we want it to be the accounting format, so I'm going to click on Accounting. And it says, it shows you a little sample here, 278. So it's actually taking that first value and it's showing you what it's going to look like with the $ in front of it. How many decimal places is it asking for? Is it asking for 2? Okay, so 2 decimal places with the $ as a symbol. So I'm going to click OK. And voila, there it is. All right, so there's different ways of doing this. Now I'm going to click the undo button up here. That's this button on the quick access toolbar. And some of you may want to thought, well, if it wants a $sign, I'm just going to click on accounting up here, and it did it that way as well. Or I'm going to undo that. Sometimes you just want to put a $sign in front of your number. So if I click on the $sign, it does the same thing. Okay, so there's more than one way to change the look of something in Excel, which is good and bad. So I think what I would like to do is, why don't we stop here, and I will give you as your homework to finish this up. How's that sound? Okay. So when you're all done, so be sure you know where you're saving. Save your file. Know where you're saving it. Email it to yourself, or save it to a thumb drive, or save it to OneDrive, and then you can pick it up where you left off. When you're all done, you're going to want to submit the file. So you're going to go back to the same project part of Cengage, and you're going to click on upload, and you're going to find wherever that file is, and you're just going to upload it by clicking open. So I'm going to click, mine's not going to work, I'm going to click open. So you should say match the file name and then re-upload. So if you got it right, it'll have a little green check mark. You'll click upload, you'll submit it, view your report, and it'll grade your report and give you feedback. And then you can update it, you can change it to correct any mistakes that you make. All right, so what questions do you guys have? Emma. Click continue. And then you want to upload it. Oh, there it is. So yeah, upload it. Click upload. Yep. Just click upload. Just click on upload. Oh, okay, then don't do that. Yeah. There's an actual style. So if you go into the chart, click on the chart, and then it's contextual. So if you click on design, there's styles. Yeah. The chart type is a bar chart, line chart, pie chart. Then the style is how it looks. We don't want to submit it yet. When the time comes, so go into. You have to go back, open Cengage back up.